All right, welcome guys to the stream. This is gonna be the first stream of this weekend. It's week one of the EPL, the ESOC Premier League, which is sort of a team event where you have four teams fighting each other so that they get as many points as possible. The aim is that in each series, a player should win as many games as possible. So this is not going to be a best of something. It's going to be a play all five, which means that winning any game gives you 1 point essentially. And this is a Nila Ninjas, I believe, sending one of the players, Knuschelbär, against LordRaphael, a member of the SKG team. So I'm Kaiserklein, and I'm going to be casting today. And with me is Riotcoke casting.
Hello.
And what else can we say about this event? I guess we have some echo from you.
Do you? You shouldn't do, because I have push to talk on. So, yeah, it's only when I'm talking you might have echo. I don't know.
Okay.
But no, Ninjas are quite far ahead, aren't they, at the moment? They're first because Turk sort of stomped on Sompu 4-1. And I think they've won another game as well. But they're first in the rankings at the moment. And obviously, Knuschelbär maybe slightly lower rated than Raphael. But it should be quite a good series, quite a close series, especially with a Dutch matchup and Dutch mirror at the start. So, yeah, as I was saying, should be quite a good series to watch.
Yeah, LordRaphael is probably the favorite, but Knuschelbär is definitely a very strong player and should not be underrated. He can take games from pretty much anyone. So yeah, it should be good. And the first map is Grand Chaco, and it's indeed a Dutch mirror. We have here on top of the map LordRaphael in the color blue, and on the other side of the map Knuschelbär in the color green, boss playing Dutch. And this is going to be a wood start, but then again, it doesn't really matter in a mirror anyway. Although we might see some differences here because Knuschelbär is starting directly with the market before he finds any wood or coin treasure. He decided he would market anyway, while I'm not sure Raphael is going to do that. We'll have to check. So the wood start might be interesting here actually.
Yeah, and you have to remember this map in particular, there's some really nice coin treasures. That 105 coin here and 120 coin just to the right of it, which both treasures for Dutch are incredibly good. And I believe that Knuschelbär and Green has spotted at least one of them. So he's going to he'll probably pick up those nice treasures themselves. And he also finds 100 food, which for Dutch, because they don't need food for villagers, is really nice to get a faster age up.
Yeah. Well, 100 food is pretty much nice for any save, really. As long as you get it before you click up, it's just such a nice treasure. Gonna lose a lot of HP, though. He's not really microing that much, and there's the envoy punching, so he's gonna lose about half his HP on that treasure. But still a very good pickup for him. Meanwhile, though, Raphael is getting some llamas in the other pond, but looks like the boss have 4 llamas anyway, so it's even.
Quite even in llamas, but Knuschelbär, as I said, has spotted these two treasures, which, relatively speaking, these alligators are quite easy to creep. Although
Yeah,
Raphael's on him, so he has to go back to base.
Right, after losing that much HP, not sure he will able to contest any big treasure anymore. I mean, because there's basically what, like 3 treasures? People can, like 3 or 11 treasures, and that aren't too hard to take, because there's this one, but like you can't really go for that. Like the only thing you can do with that treasure is usually crackshot one and come back and crackshot the second one, but that works only basically if it's like in a corner of the map and you know your opponent is not gonna come and just steal it with his own crackshot. But when it's right in the middle like this, I don't expect anyone to pick that 135 coin until age 2 maybe. So yeah, there's only 3 or 11 treasures, and Raphael is on the side with 2 of them, and I don't think Knusch is going to be able to contest his 2 big coin treasures. So he's probably just going to go for the 60 foot on the left, which is the only decent other treasure on the map. So I don't know who wins this age one, really. Like, Knusch got 100 food extra, but then he also went market. So he's going to age without much idle time. But he does have hunting dogs in, which is really nice. Then on the other hand, Raphael is gonna get like
Exploring.
basically 200 gold, so it's pretty nice as well.
Yeah, Knuschelbär's explorers died.
Oh wait, what? How?
The alligator was 9 HP and he got the last hit on the explorer. So his Lord of Weed, as Knuschelbär's explorer is called, is dead. So actually, Raphael, if he knew that, could really easily go for that pirate treasure. You crack shot one, you sort of just stand there.
Yeah, I mean, microing your treasures is important. Like sometimes you have to just take it fast and not micro, but sometimes you need to micro, and this is a good example. Like this treasure is in the corner of the map. You can totally hit and run it. Like that was not very good. He's just lost his explorer. He will be able to rescue it with his envoy though, so it's not too bad. Because when you have only one scout, then the explorer is gonna be dead for a long time. But upon age up, so in like 15 seconds, Knusch will be able to revive that explorer and pick up the treasure. But it's still not ideal, obviously. And meanwhile, Raphael just, you see, he's lost barely 100 HP on his Explorer despite taking 2 big coin treasures, so that's a bit better. I'd say we can give the H1 to Raphael maybe, although, again, he didn't sneak in the market while Knusch did, so it's pretty close. But having the market means that the bank goes up a tiny bit later as well. So here's that.
Yeah, so I don't know which one's better. I think market's maybe slightly better if you get a nice treasure, but Noosh going for it straight away. But Raphael's going to come in and take this 60 food, but his explorers just died for. So yeah, I definitely think Raphael's one age one.
Yeah, probably. Also because it's stuff we don't necessarily. I mean, how should I say? Like the fact that Raphael got 200 gold means he's gonna make bills basically in early age 2. He can just make bills without even mining any gold, just with the bank and the 200 gold he's got from the treasures, which means that he can have all his bills and food while training bills and just get his second bank up. While, as you can see, Knusch is only now gonna drop his bank because he did not have the gold for bills and he had to mine gold and all that. So the market is nice, but it's not necessarily superior just because it sort of delays the timing at which you can drop your banks. And yeah, also then Raphael got his bank up earlier, so he's got his shipment already on the way, and Knusch does not have his shipment. Now he's gonna ship it, It snowballs like so hard. Raphael dropping his third bank now, and Knusch is also dropping his third bank, to be fair, although a little bit later. But yeah.
Yeah, so Raphael going up with a market, normal sort of thing for Dutch to do, a later market, and going down with a stable, and Knuschelbär not having a single military building. So it might cause some trouble here if there's 5 hussars coming out from Dutch, just plowing into his base. He can't really do anything about it. A stable coming up, but his batch of 5 hussars will be much later than the stable from Raphael.
Yeah. That's true, but then again, usually if you drop your stable a little bit later than your opponent, while grading a little bit more, it's good because the time for your opponent to cross the map with his hussars, you will have your own hussars popping, and then you will just get away with it. However, it's not like Knusch has any more eco than Raphael, so yeah, he's gonna have his huss later. It's probably not gonna matter because he will have time to defend anyway. But he doesn't really have any advantage over LordRaphael right now. I think I feel like LordRaphael is just ahead because of the superior early H2. But it's pretty close, for sure. I mean, it's a mirror, right? So
yeah.
That house here is kind of odd. Kind of blocking the villagers from going on food and gold a bit. Could have been a bit more forward next to the banks maybe, but not a big deal. Although, yeah,
Raphael's going to lose the Explorer here, and I believe Knuschelbär's not going to lose any villagers. So these 5 hussars, even though, as I said, they were earlier, they're not really going to do very much. As the 5 hussars of Knuschelbär's got himself.
All right. Yeah, I was just checking for the sound. Looks like the sound is good, so that's good. Yeah, indeed. Just being able to pop husk a bit after while your opponent's crossing the map means you're gonna most likely be safe. But Raphael is making 5 more husks, so You know, this
And
is a
Pike.
matchup. This is a matchup where you sometimes go Huss in H2, but you sometimes just like FF kind of,
Yeah,
and maybe
and
rely on the pikes. Yeah, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
and 5 pikes coming out from the barracks. So Raphael's going to have 5 pikes plus his extra 5 Huss, and a barracks going down for Knuschelbär, but it's going up so much slower. And these pikemen coming out from when they get into the base, this bank might go down, which is huge in a Dutch mirror. Is that XP bonus and
Uh,
the loss of
it
and
won't.
8 pikemen coming out as well.
It won't go down. He will force a reaction like Minuteman, but it will not go down because Knusch will get like 5 more Haas soon, and then Minuteman, and he will be
But
fine.
no,
Although,
he won't be helped.
what
He
is
has
going
no
on?
Huss.
Where are the
Knuschelbär
Hussars?
he has no Huss in queue. His Minutemen are the only defense
Wait.
he has unless 8 pike comes out, and then there's another 5 Huss coming in and another 8 pikemen. I think this really isn't good for Knuschelbär. He
This is
loses all
kind
of
of
his Huss.
This is 8
Yeah,
pikes, but
8
coming
pike
in just
coming
a
in.
bit too late. If only he
Yeah.
pulled his wheels back inside and waited to like trap Raphael with the pikes. But this is kind of really bad for Knusch. I mean, he's lost what? Probably 4 wheels because he was aging.
He was
Damn it.
I didn't realize.
So
That's not
that's
too bad.
yeah, it is pretty bad because now he's got no Minutemen. Well, I mean they're here but low HP. I think Raphael can force a fight. Maybe it's gonna be close, and then he can try to get the bank down. You know, I'm not sure if it's worth trying to fight this as Raphael because it's still like Pikes and Minutemen against Pikes and Huss. Obviously, Green has a better composition, but he's also got less units, and there's more Hussars from Raphael coming in. He needs to siege the bank, yeah, and he's going for it. He's gonna siege it down, try to siege it down, but there will probably be like 5 Rioters popping from the stable. Meanwhile, though, he did kill 2 more vills, so that's one thing to, yeah, I mean, he will force it. He's just like forcing it and just gonna try to get the bank down, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work. He's gonna take a lot of damage on his units meanwhile, but he's extremely ahead in eco.
Yeah, if that bank goes down, it's going to be huge. There's going to be a massive, probably 10, 12 eco difference there.
I think it will. I'm sorry to get you. I think 9 Rita's going to pop now. And save it. Holy shit, this is so close. Yeah, it's going to go down. He's going to sack the Hussars. Damn, this is huge.
And that massive XP boost. Now, as soon as Raphael's into the next stage, he's going to have 2 shipments ready. And look at the difference. As I said, 11 eco difference. And the military difference is obviously slightly in Knuschelbär's favour, but it's not massively in his favour. And now Raphael has got skirmishes in queue, which obviously against the Reuters and skirmishes is the best thing you can do.
Yeah, that was a nice pressure for Raphael, and I don't like that Knusch is just chasing the Explorer with his Reuters. Like the only advantage Knusch has in this game is the fact that he's up to for the rest a little bit earlier, so he really has to abuse that. Like he really has to go with his Reuters and try to do some damage, which is not easy to be fair because it's just Reuters. But you know you have to do something with them because, well, I mean if you don't, then you're just behind, right? Like he's behind by a bank and like 5 vills, so.
Yeah, and also you have to remember that still traps is researched for Raphael, so that villager difference is actually larger than it seems. Meanwhile, Knuschelbär's only got hunting dogs. Although he might get a few vills with his Reuters, but you have to remember Reuters are so painfully useless at killing villagers. It's going to take so long to kill all of them, and they're probably just going to.
He's probably kill like 2 or 3 of them and then go back. Yeah, 2 I guess.
Look at this skirmisher mass. There's 18 skirmishers to 8 for Raphael, and 1,000 wood coming down from Knuschelbär, which is I think a bit too eco heavy at this point. He's going to try and get probably a second TC down, but
I think he's on 3 banks, so he might just. I mean, now he's on 4 banks because he used some of the wood to rebuild the bank. But he kind of wants to go on 5 banks because Raphael is on 4. And, well, Raphael will be on 5 banks himself because he's got 1k wood. So, yeah. The thing is that Knusch lost some vills and you cannot really replace them. But he also killed like 3 vills now. So, the vill difference is only 2 villagers, which is not too bad. And behind that, if he can get back to 5 banks, then his eco will be alright, actually. I mean, he will be just behind by 2 vills, right? In the worst case, if he has the max banks. So, I think it's what he's going to try to do. And I feel like it's alright. Also kind of forced kind of forced Raphael to ship 8 skirms because of the Eritas, so it's not too bad.
Sorry to cut you off. Why is Knuschelbär stacking so many resources?
Yeah, I saw that. I think he's going industrial, but I really don't like the 1k gold. Like, industrial is actually sort of legit, especially if you age up to fortress before your opponent. But I don't know about this macro. Like, he's gonna end up literally stacking like 1k gold. Well, I mean, he bought some food with it, so he's gonna be okay, but he had to like ship gold and then buy food, which doesn't make much sense, right? Might as well have been just no shipment and keep it for industrial, or I don't know, even like 8 skirms to make sure you can defend, or skirm combat or anything. I don't know, but I feel like this 1k gold wasn't the greatest.
So, yeah, do you reckon as Knuschelbär gets up, he's going to have a shipment? That's going to be the heavy cannons, obviously.
Yeah.
And then he's just going to go heavy cannon Reuter against this sort of huge skirm mass from Raphael. But can Raphael not just push in with his Reuters himself and just get heavy cannons in melee mode?
He doesn't really have enough routers to kill the heavies, I guess. But yeah, that's the thing, right? In this matchup, it's not a matchup where you get a lot of hand cav or something like that. You just get a lot of skirms and some routers, so it's kind of easy to sneak in an industrial age just because of that. Like, it's not a very aggressive unit composition, right? Skirm router. Then again, Raphael still has a lot more units and infantry combat, so he has a window now to do some damage. But, you know, he can't know that Knusch is going industrial. He's maybe, like, you know, guessing something's up because Knusch is not trying to fight for the map. So he's like, maybe he's aging. Let's try to pressure, but not 100% sure. You can see he's hesitating, going back a little bit because he doesn't know how many units Knusch has. And now that he sees the industrial age, he will be like, oh, okay, so now I need to be really aggressive. And probably going to push in and try to kill the skirms now.
I'm surprised Knuschelbär didn't go with the Falconets. I think that would have been a better choice, actually.
I don't know if Dutch actually has this age up.
I thought all European teams had the same.
Nah. For instance, Russia. I know Russia cannot age up with 1k gold.
Oh.
So I'd assume that Dutch might not be able to age up with the Falconets. Actually, I wanted to say, what if he shipped the church card instead of 1k gold in each trade? Yeah, get the Stradians, the red coats, whatever. Okay, the heavy spotting.
They're gonna get huge shots off. Look at that.
Yeah.
Massive shots from the skirmishers. Reuters are on them though. If they get another shot on the skirmishers, he's gonna be in a good position.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good trade for Knusch, but still his heavy cannons are gonna be dead, and he kind of relied on these. I feel like he could have covered them better, maybe like try to block with his Reiters and his skirms, like just making sure Raphael could not go on top of them and kill them like that. I don't think this is a good enough trade. I mean, if you look at the military pop, Raphael is still already ahead, and he's got infantry combat as well. Although that's a nice pop of 5 Reiters, 5 skirms on top of Raphael's skirms, and it might just be a cleanup. Although we have a big batch of hussars, unupgraded hussars, but still. So if Raphael can snipe enough of the Reiters, he will probably clean up here. But I'm not 100% sure. This is actually a really close game. Even though Knusch is behind in eco, he is ahead by 1 age, and he might be able to defend that. But Reiter's going in melee mode, I think, against the Huss, which is not what you want. Yeah, this is gonna be tough maybe for Knusch here.
I think Knuschelbär may have had the 17 Reuters in queue. If he did, and if I pop now, he'd be in a really good position. But I'm not entirely sure if he got a shipment out. And obviously, he's only got 5 Reuters here against. Against the Haas. As the 17 Reuters are saying that they're going to pop over on the Haas, he's going to clean up the villagers coming out to tank, and these skirmishers just going to go down, even though they've got infantry combat. And in my eyes, Knuschelbär's in a really nice position.
I think it's a really close game because the thing is that I need to check. Okay, now I can check the deck. It's gonna lag, but yeah, okay. Yeah, the thing is that there's no more industrial shipments for Knusch, except the factories, of course. So if he gets factories, he will be ahead in eco and ahead by 1 age. And for the time being, he's ahead in military. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that Knusch is actually quite a bit ahead in here, but it's not like Raphael has nothing going for him. Like, he's got infantry combat and cav combat, and he's got more eco. So for the time being, I guess Knusch is winning, yeah, but it's not exactly over either. But but Knusch is ahead for sure, and that's
you
a
have
nice
to
trade.
remember the upgrades in industrial for yeah, the upgrades in industrial for Dutch are quite expensive. These Reuters are 1,000 wood and 1,000 coin each because they have a Royal Guard upgrades, and the skirmishers are cheaper, obviously. But yeah, so even though he's got that advantage of the next stage, he's sent the 2 big shipments he has, 17 Reuters and 2 heavy cannons, and the 2 factors obviously to come. But
sorry, that was close. A bunch of hills next to a bunch of Reuters, but he's moving on this gold mine there. But yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, even though he's got the advantage of being in the industrial age, it's not as big as it may seem because he has to try and get those upgrades in. Otherwise, his units are just worse as it is at the moment. His cavalry combat in from
no,
Raphael.
Okay.
The factory.
No, it's gonna go up fine, but it.
It's close.
Yeah, it's actually in fact even forced the Hussars a little bit to stay there and get shot a bit more. So it was actually pretty good for Knusch, but could have been going really wrong. But yeah, I mean, wait, what? Despite having a factory, Knusch is really still far behind. I guess he lost. He lost what? Knusch lost 17 vills. Did these Hussars kill that many vills here?
Yeah, the back over here, they're all collecting wood and food from the hunt, and they just got squished. But heavy cannon's going to be coming out from the factory from Knuschelbär, which may be a bit of a surprise for.
Yeah, definitely.
He's skirm map.
He's taking the upgrade, the mass production, to get heavy cannons faster. So he's gonna follow up with a second factory and get a bunch of heavies. So that means essentially Raphael will have to get cavalry. So you can't really deal with heavies with Reuters and skirms. But yeah, it was a really good raid. In fact, Knusch is 16 vills behind. Even though he killed a couple of vills now, he's still 16 vills behind, which is a lot. But does it really matter? As Knusch is ahead in military and ahead by 1 age.
And ahead in score as well. I don't know how, but he's ahead in score.
20 score is like the age up, basically. I mean, industrial is 32 score, actually. It's 3,200 resources, which is 32 score. So obviously he's gonna be ahead because of that. Like, it's resources invested. So in fact, in effective score, if you want, you can say that Knusch is like 12 score behind or 10 score behind in terms of just like units and vills on the map. But anyway, the thing is that even if Knusch takes up his skirms to guard, they're gonna be exactly as good as Raphael's skirms.
Yes, the Dutch upgrades, the infantry attack and the infantry combat is so powerful. They're basically forest dwellers, these units now. The Dutch skirmishers.
Kinda, yeah. Although Forest Brothers also get upgrades, so eventually they're much better.
Well, yeah, Forest Brothers are just broken units. So, yeah. But yeah, they're unupgraded Forest Brothers now. Yeah, about that, I think.
And
but yeah, Raphael coming out.
Raphael been dealing with the raids pretty nicely. He hasn't lost too many vills, and he did kill quite a few Hussars, I think. And basically, that's just, I think that's Knusch buying time there. I mean, he's trying to raid and buy time here as well. Just because, you know, he's industrial. If he can get enough heavy cannons out, and if he can tech up his units to guard, he's in a very nice position, even though he's a bit behind in eco. And if he gets a second factory, he will not be behind in eco anymore. So if he can buy time with his raids, he's in a very fine spot. Losing 3 raiders here, though. Like, these skirms have, so much attack, but one shot going in, not too big, just killing 1 skirm. Raphael gonna... sorry for that. Gonna try to poke, but I'm not sure you really want to poke when your opponent has a heavy cannon. But yeah, losing 3 skirms there. Thing is, he kind of wants to keep that gold mine, keep the control of it, but he's gonna be forced back. I think we will see probably an artillery foundry soon from Raphael. I mean, he kind of has to, But he doesn't have any wood, so he's going to have to buy wood if he wants to get a foundry. Or he has to go in with his Ritos and hope for the best, but that's really not optimal.
Well, this heavy cannon unpacking just when he needs it to be packing up when it just needs it to be packed.
Oh.
A big shot on the skirmishes, but
Good micro though. He canceled the animation. You can cancel the packing when it happens by just clicking on the button, like on the shooting button, and then he just went back into shooting mode and got a shot, and now another shot, and Raphael is just going in, and I don't know, the heavy cannon's doing a lot of damage, but at the same time, it feels kind of okay for Raphael. It's just sort of surrounding the army with his Huss and Ritos.
Oh, another one coming in now.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to kill. That's going to be extremely tough for Raphael to kill. I mean, there's not that many Ritos left. They're trying to go on top of it in melee mode, but it's going to take a while, and all the Ritos are dying, and meanwhile, a huge volley from that heavy cannon, killing basically 5 or 6 skirms worth of HP. And then what's left at the end? I feel like Knusch has just more units, although Raphael's skirms are extremely strong, so maybe...
Knusch can't fight this because the skirms are so strong.
Yeah.
He needs sort of another heavy cannon out, but he has to wait now. He's had his 2 just out at the same time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't actually see how long it is away from being made. But yeah, these skirmishers using the, I've forgotten what a mode is called, like the spread out mode.
The stagger mode.
The stagger mode really well. It sort of... If they were in the tight formation, they'd be decimated by the heavy cannons, but heavy cannons obviously doing work, but not as much as maybe Knusch wanted them to do.
Well,
everyone coming out.
I mean, it's like, it gives tempo to Raphael because he forced to fight and now he's able to push a bit. But then, at the end of the day, I think it was still a good trade for Knusch, because if you look at the score, well, yeah, he's 30 score ahead, which is a little bit more than before. But then again, yeah, Raphael has some tempo. So he can force the issue a little bit here and just keep pushing. But then one more heavy coming and Raphael will have to go back 100%. I mean, he cannot kill that heavy, right? There's almost nothing from Raphael to kill that heavy cannon on the field. Knusch got his 5th bank and his 2nd factory. So even though he lost a couple of bills here, he's still ahead by like 5 bills. So this is very nice for Knusch. All he needs now is to tech up his skirms to guard. And then there's not much Raphael can do, I think.
In a way, this game was sort of played out the same as the Sompu versus Iron Turk Ottoman Russia game, where Turk was in the lead for so long, but he just refused to make culverins. And it sort of ended up making the game so much longer than it needed to be. I mean, 3 or 4 culverins now from Raphael at the back here takes out these heavy cannons, and his skirmishers are so strong, they do so well. But all these villagers going down are nice.
Yeah,
heavy cannons are quite disappointing against villagers, actually.
Yeah, they don't have a multiplier. A Vil has 202 HP and a heavy cannon has 200 attacks, so it just leaves a Vil with like 2 HP, so it's really disappointing. Yeah. Regardless, though, I mean, he's just quite ahead in eco, 10 Vils ahead now, and I don't know. It's also that, you know, he doesn't need that much map, because Knusch is still like 10 Vils behind, but he's getting 3 heavy cannons, so he doesn't need any map control to get his heavies out, and he's also on berries, which is not ideal, but doesn't really matter at this point, honestly, and it's looking so tough for Raphael. Now the score gap is 50, and it's also the point where Knusch has used all of his industrial shipments, so now he's gonna start to ship like cav combat and infantry combat himself, and just have very strong skirms.
Oh no! Look at the heavy cannons. They're gonna get caught by the Huss, maybe. But the heavy cannons gonna go.
But also gonna get volleys at the same time. So I'm not sure why Knusch is being so aggressive. I'm not gonna lie. Why do you need to be aggressive when you're industrial and all that? Like
but Raphael's sending the church card and getting the Stradiouts out, which are really, really nice versus heavy cannons because they're so fast. You have to remember that Stradiouts are 6.75 speed instead of 6 speed on the Huts. No, 7.25 even. They are faster though. And these 3 heavy cannons, which should really decimate that army, haven't because of bad positioning really from Knuschelbär. Another one coming out.
Terrible positioning, that's true actually. And I don't know why he's sending more heavy cannons. He should just sit back. I mean, just get a huge mass of units and like 3, 4, 5 heavies, and then what can he do, you know, if he doesn't have culverins? Why does he keep fighting this? I'm not sure, but Still, though, at the end of the day, it's kind of a comeback from Raphael here. Like he does get ahead in military, so now again he's got some tempo. He can push and he can do something, and he has to do something because keep in mind that now Raphael is behind in vills. Even though he was really ahead, he's lost a bunch of vills in this fight, and halbs to cover the heavies. That's interesting, but I'm not sure it's that good against traitors and skirms.
Yeah, imagine if Knuschelbär at this point sent religious freedom and got 30 musketeers.
Yeah.
Again, 30 musketeers defending that mass of heavy cannons would be incredible.
Yeah, that is actually disappointing because Knusch could have really gone for the church card instead of 1k gold and still have pretty much the same industrial time. Another heavy cannon going forward, but gonna be covered pretty well.
It's covered. I mean, you just look at the eco difference now as well. Look, Raphael's villagers over here in the fight, so he's sort of lost an equal amount to Knuschelbär at this point.
Yeah, it's what I said. He's even behind in vills, and Knusch has like 2 extra factories, so you know.
Yeah, with these vills going down though, it's going to be about equal. 30 lost by Raphael, Knuschelbär, sorry, and 32 lost by
that's a
Raphael,
bunch of
so
that's a bunch of dead vills. It's like they could have boss pinned at 50 vills a very long time ago, like at the max vill, at the vill max. But yeah, anyway, one heavy cannon, there's gonna be more. That's the thing, right? You can't keep trading forever your stuff with against heavy cannons. Like at some point, if Knusch doesn't screw up, he will like have an unkillable army pretty much, unless Raphael manages to keep taking trades and keep the pressure. But it's gonna be hard. Although Knusch's been kind of wasting his halves, so like he's lost already 6 or 7 halbs or something like that.
Oh, this heavy cannon probably going to go down to the Reuters. Oh, amazing shot on the skirmishers being ill compact. So I think heavy cannon trading quite nicely even. And yeah, as you said, I mean, these natural resources, these coin mines are running out for Raphael. There's only 2 left, which you can really go to. Oh, sorry, 3 left. And obviously the factories themselves don't actually require any
map control, yeah.
Any map control or natural resources in the slightest. And these wild gelders, which were sort of harassing these heavy cannons as they came out, are going to go down. And yeah, this massive skirmishers is going to face these 2 heavy cannons, which is going to get a lovely shot off.
He's going to go back.
Stagger mode. Oh, they're just out of range, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but like they're in a very nice pocket here. Like it's kind of hard to get on top of these heavy cannons in this pocket. And Raphael is going to have to go back. Maybe he's going to try to get the bank down because it's kind of an odd bank placement. But even if he does, it doesn't matter all that much because Knusch is quite ahead in eco. But oh wait, Raphael's got the coffee trade, so he's got 6 banks now and potentially a 7th bank soon.
The 7th going up as well.
Not sure it's even good. I don't know. Like it's.
Your units are so much slower,
it's
especially
so
against heavy cannons. You can't. I mean, is it -10 or -20% speed?
I hate that. Like seriously, I hate getting that tag. I mean, it feels good because you get so much gold, obviously from the bank, but it's so annoying to control your units, and especially against like heavy cannons and stuff.
Oh, there's gonna be a big volley against the skirmishers here. Look at a huge 5 or 6 skirmishers going down. These wild girders, which have been sort of painstaking him.
I think he locked. Not the greatest volleys, but still, you know, still free kills. And now if we look at the military, I mean, they have even mass, but obviously the composition from Knusch is superior because of the heavy cannons. And Knusch does have cav combat and infantry combat, which is the most important at this point. And now
heavy cannons as well.
Knusch can still ship all of his H3 unit shipments if he wants. He can ship 9 Rioters, 8 skirms, and all that. So, and he's raiding in the middle of the map. So far, I think we can say that Raphael is still in the game only because he's been trading so well and microing and taking fights so well, in my opinion. And Knusch unit positioning and micro was maybe a little bit off. So that is essentially why Raphael is not out of this game. But it's going to be hard to keep playing like that. He really needs culverins. I don't know why he did not. Like, he's even got an arsenal. So it's not like he didn't have the wood to, like, build a foundry and get culverins. I don't know why you'd get an arsenal and not like Culves, but
It's a big Reuter mass coming in, and there's not a huge amount of skirmishers. From
yeah, but for heavy cannons takes so long to kill. I think this is gonna be maybe the final fight. I'm not sure Raphael can kill that army.
the heavy cannons firing on the wrong type of units.
Oh my god, that was
shoot.
nasty. Like, holy moly.
Yeah, another shot coming in. No
my
skirms
god.
left.
This is probably GG. I mean,
it's gotta be GG. And you've got to remember 5 skirms coming in from the back, and these hostiles doing work, but heavy cannons at the back not being harassed and just.
He forgot Fist Bank. Yeah, but Knusch also did not get Fist Bank. Yeah, the thing is really that he didn't make culverins. I don't know. I think he could have totally won that with just 3 culverins to one-shoot the heavy cannons. And I mean, did you see the good fights he took? Like on the on the left, sorry, of the native post, he took a great fight, even though he lost a lot of bills. He took a couple pretty good fights despite like having the worst unit composition. He killed so many heavy cannons. I actually wish I checked how many he killed even without culverins. But at some point you really gotta make goals. Like, you can't just keep trading units for stuff that pops every 1 minute 20 or so for free from 2 factories. Like, you can't trade like that. That was a really good game.
Yeah, if you look at the military unit graph and you look at the trades that Knuschelbär got when he only had a few units, you'll see how incredible the early trades were. And then it sort of flipped over with Raphael getting such incredible trades, especially at the 25-minute mark. Raphael's trade there was a massive, going down to only 14 unit population for Knuschelbär. But that last trade, as you were saying, is, his army just got decimated. He has a smaller economy, and he isn't industrial, so he can't get those heavy cannons out.
It's just like Raphael just, how should I say? Like, he's got maybe not the greatest trade in H2, but I think he's got a solid trade in H2. Like, he killed a bank, he fought a Minuteman, he kind of cleaned up and killed 5 vills. Like, Raphael was ahead at the end of H2, despite edging up later. And then he sort of just went a bit full bot and just, wait, sorry, we have, thanks for subscribing, Kemi Ryu. But yeah, he sort of just like kept just making units and tried to fight the heavy cannons all the time, when he could have either gone for kills, but also, what about just following up? Like, when he killed the 2 heavies in Knusch base, maybe Raphael could have just then went back and just aged up himself, or I don't know, or just I feel like Raphael could have done other things than just taking fights all the time like that. But yeah, he did get a great fight at minute 26 for Raphael. But then, the next one was not as good. And that was a really good game. And Raphael's still ahead in eco at the end of the day, just because of the early damage he's done. Although that is, like, the resources are kind of fake, because obviously the heavy cannons are not taken into account, and they're worth a lot of resources. But yeah, that was a really good game. Knusch still having a better kill-death ratio, just because of the heavies. But really, really nice game. Good way to open this series, I think, and this weekend.
Definitely. So you have to remember the Raphael of Dutch Mirrors, generally speaking, is unbeatable. I mean, we've only really seen Maito beat him in a tournament. I think it was the either Tri-Civ Cup or the Supremacy tournament, where Maito beat Raphael with some weird church card play in a Dutch mirror. But yeah, really, really nice first win for Knuschelbär. And again, as I was saying, the mistake Turk made in against Sompu when he was playing as Ottomans, not making any calls.
Yeah, I think it's fine to not make calls for a while, because Knusch is not going to have all that many units to cover his heavies. Like, if you clean up when he's up, like Raphael cleaned up when Knusch was H4, so you can just like kill the first 2 heavies and kill his units. Then he's not gonna have all that many units to cover his next heavy cannons, so you don't really need culverins. But at some point, like, you can't just keep trading like that, really. But yeah, also one thing I saw in the graphs was the timing of Raphael. This was a good timing, right? I mean, when Knusch was aging and Raphael just made like 15 hussars and 13 pikes, he had like more than 40 pop of units at 8 minutes. which is quite a lot as Dutch when you go for 4 banks. Like it's quite a lot of units really. Strong timing, 40 pop of units as Dutch at 8 minutes. You don't see that every day, so that was a nice build from Raphael. But then Knusch also, like, the industrial play was nice. So
yeah, sort of unexpected in this matchup. Normally, you'd see a prolonged Fortress Age play where you have
yeah,
Reuter Skirm.
although it's one matchup where industrial is viable. Like, let's say you play German Miro, no one's gonna go industrial, because if you do, like, there's a lot of Ulans just right clicking you and just killing all your villas and your gold mines. But as Dutch, you don't need so much map control, so you can go industrial and still have food in your base and use the banks for gold. And you can also just, like, you can't force the issue so much with Ritas and Skirms. So it's one of the matchups where it's more viable to go industrial, but definitely not standard. And also going for the pike harsh timing is not standard. So I have to say this is probably the most entertaining Dutch mirror I've ever seen, because usually Dutch mirrors are honestly kind of boring to watch. It's just a skirmisher spam without much strategy behind. And here it was just really entertaining.
Yeah, really, really fun game to watch, even though normally it would be boring, as you were saying. John. Oh, I haven't joined. I'm sorry. That's my mistake. I've just been sitting in game the whole time. What's the next map? I don't actually know. Do you know?
I'm checking right now actually, because they're not really selecting it. So let's go week 1. Skiddling and
Can you see who picks first as well, please? As it's
yeah,
predetermined,
I'm
isn't it?
checking all that. So it's Florida and Knusch picking first. It's not because Knusch has won the first game. It's usually how it goes in ESOC tournament. It's because the Nila Ninjas, so it's Knuschelbär's team, just lock first in game 2. It doesn't really matter who locks first in which games, because either way you're gonna end up playing all the 5 games. So there's one game, it's the first game where players agree on a matchup, and there's 2 games where you pick first and 2 games where you get counterpicked, and the order doesn't really matter, because either way all 5 games will be played, and what matters is the score at the end. So if you go for 5-0, your team gets 5 points. 4-1 is 3 points because you get 3 extra wins, and 3-2 is 1 point. And these are the 3 only results, the 3 only possible results in a play all 5 series. So yeah, Knusch opening up with a very interesting industrial play, and just gonna pull ahead 1-0. But now he has to pick first in Florida, and we'll see what Raphael can do. Looks like he's locking Hero, which is definitely a pick I respect, as I personally believe, and I think a lot of other players now believe, that Hero is very strong. And Florida is definitely a good map for Hero, as you have trading posts and you have livestock, which can be nice. You also have good treasures, which is nice for Hero. So
yeah, what's interesting about Uro is only a few months ago, or 6-7 months ago, people were saying it was underpowered. And you were sort of a proponent of Iroquois was a powerful civ, and just people weren't playing it correctly.
yeah, I don't even know if people weren't playing correctly. I just think people just weren't playing them at all, pretty much. Like, no one played Hero, and now
Yeah,
it's more common at the moment. But
yeah, it tends to be it was people transitioning from RE patch, where you wouldn't play Hero because it's just completely broken and unfair. And so people didn't know how to play Hero. And as you said, people might not have been playing on EP because of it. And then it ended up having a stigma that it was a sort of a bad civ. But now, obviously, people like Dialoga seem to think that Germany is the only civ on TP that tops Hero.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's as you said, yeah, no one really played Hero because of that, and now people start playing them because they're strong. And I think at least pretty much everyone agrees that Hero is strong. Some people, including me, think it's a top civ. but maybe not everyone believes that. But at least no one says they're weak or something. I think pretty much everyone agrees that Eero is above average, and we see them a lot now. Because they have been nerfed for sure. Like they can't pick a trading post most of the time. But if you get a wood start, it's pretty much the same as on RE without wood start. Like you still get a TP and age up 15. So and there's other stuff like you get the crates. 800 resources is pretty good shipment in H2. But yeah, anyway, Eero Miro actually. So you see, it's quite a strong save. Raphael doesn't really want to play anything else than Eero against Eero here. So yeah, interesting. Or maybe he just believes he will be more comfortable in a Miro, maybe. So
Well, I think Raphael might think he's a slightly better player because Knuschelbär obviously is a very good player in himself, a Brigadier. But he's a team player, isn't he? He doesn't tend to play much 1v1. So Raphael might have that sort of not arrogance, but he might believe in himself more than Knuschelbär. But obviously that Dutch bear is showing something that Raphael normally is very good at. Knuschelbär just pipping him at the post there with a better build on.
yeah, I guess Raphael is more of a 1v1 player, and Knusch is a bit more of a team player. So maybe Knusch is doing really good in this kind of games like previous game where it's more of like running around the map and just fighting and stuff. But when it comes to build orders, Raphael might have the edge, and in a Eero Miro, well, it's going to be a lot about micro and about build order, because unit shipments are usually very important in that matchup. If boss players go for a forward warhead, it's very tense. But anyway, we have here on top of the map Raphael in the color blue playing as Eero, and in the other side of the map as well as Eero. So it's a second Miro, in fact. Knuschelbär in the color green as usual. Coin start is usually pretty bad as Eero, but with the market, it's not all that bad. And on Florida, you'll probably find a coin treasure.
Yeah, the market, you can actually even go for a trading post if you wanted to as well.
Right.
I don't know if it's 100% worth doing, because obviously you'd mine 25 coin or find a coin treasure and then chop 100 wood. But this map in particular has quite nice treasures. So
you can also go for a farm, though. If you just buy 100 wood and chop 25, I don't know what Raphael is going to do, but he's definitely going to do something because he's got a villain wood, unless it's a mistake, but I don't think so. So it looks like he's planning on doing something with the gold and stuff. Like, he's got 2 wheels on wood, yeah. So he's definitely chopping for something, maybe for hunting dogs. But if it was for hunting dogs, I feel like he would have maybe more wheels on wood. Because as Eero, you start with a lot of food, so you don't need to actually have wheels and food. You can put them all on wood and get hunting dogs really quick. I'm not sure what is on his mind.
Knuschelbär finding 105 coin, but I thought he was gonna. Has he found another coin treasure somewhere?
He converted
130. Yeah.
If he has his convert available, but he does not. I think he doesn't have his convert yet. So yeah, they're gonna fight for this 135 coin, and I think the prime for Raphael is that Knusch has a pirate. Oh, who is gonna get that? I cannot see for some reason.
No clue. Knuschelbär, that's huge. You can get his TP up really early. Look at that, 200 gold, and you can chop 50 wood and get hunting dogs at the same time. It's massive.
Yeah, it's a bit late for hunting dogs. I guess it's not worth chopping at this point because he's almost gonna age. But getting the TP is really nice.
Yeah, so with 100 coin from the from starting, he's got what 100 200 or no 300 even 340 coin in age 1, where he's just with that market sort of paying dividends to what it normally would do. He's also got
it has to be like 350 because he put 200 wood. There, maybe a 10 coin.
345. You got
no, that's
you got 105 coin and 135 and 100 coin to start with, so that's 340. And I believe he mined left.
Yeah, he must have mined like 10 gold for some reason. Maybe he was ready to. Yeah, I think what happened is that Knusch was mining gold because he was ready to buy 200 wood because he already had 205 gold, right? So he was ready to mine like 45 gold and buy the wood. But in fact, he stopped mining when he got the 135. So he ended up like mining a little bit of gold for nothing. So, but it's really not a big deal. I mean, he's got such a great H1. Raphael, what did Raphael really get? He's got just 60 food and 40 food, which is still nice. I mean, 100 food towards his age up is not nothing, and then 75 wood. So we can't say that Raphael got a bad H1, but I think we can say that Knusch got a better H1. And getting the Tomahawk as well, which might be important in these early fights and maybe in denying the front base. I wonder if Knusch could have gone just past age and just front base, because if you do that, your opponent can't really front base
Yeah,
himself. But yeah,
the amount of sort of nature warriors in the Iroquois Tomahawk he's got here, he can probably stop the Trevor coming out if he spots it really easily. I mean, he's got a lot of DPS there. He's sort of holding them back. He's going to get 120 coin, I believe. 120 coin here. So Knuschelbär definitely winning age 1, definitely. He's got the trading post up. He's got the I think he's going for a second trading post.
yeah. These pirates are so annoying. Like, seriously, look at that. 414 HP, 30% melee resist. So he can just let the pirate tank. This pirate literally tanked the entire treasure, and it was already low HP. It was like half HP, and it still tanked the entire goddamn treasure. Like 2 Cougars and 1 Blowgunner. Well, the Blowgunner does only 5 damage in melee, but still, like, it's insane. Anyway, yeah, so really a lot of gold from Knusch. Gold not being super useful for hero usually, but since you can buy wood with it, it doesn't really matter. And Knusch going for an in-base Warhat, while Raphael is going forward. So I feel like Knusch is gonna go maybe some IFF or FF, because he's done that in the Pilgrim tournament. Obviously, it was a little bit of a different format, but in all the hero mirrors and all the matchups, really, he was just going FF as hero. And I feel like if he goes in base, it has to be for some sort of H3 agenda. Because why, if you're gonna play H2, why would you not get free map control and go Warhat against your opponent's Warhat? Why would you go in base? I assume he's gonna do some sort of some IFF, but I might be wrong.
Yeah.
He's also mined some gold. He's mining more gold now, so I guess he's preparing for the 600 gold shipment or something similar.
Yeah, he did actually mine that much gold, you have to remember, because he got so much from treasures. He was on 310 gold when he basically aged up. So, in my eyes here, he's going to have an incredibly fast age up. Maybe Raphael's just putting the forward Warhat to age up himself, because, yeah, I think he is as well. Because 3 villagers and 5 villagers is obviously a normal FF sort of build. And he's just going to gather it normally, and I think Raphael will probably be up first.
Wait, how did that actually happen here?
I don't know. I'll be honest.
I guess Knusch just chopped more wood. Like, he just chopped extra wood, basically.
And Knuschelbär going to have a second TP down as well, so it's not
yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, either way, I kind of like Knusch's build better. Like, you can sneak in the 800 resources, and then it helps you just a little bit to age up in time.
He's up so much quicker. He's going to be up 20 seconds quicker.
Yeah, and sure. I mean, I don't know why Knusch is up that much later despite shipping resources. It's kind of weird to me, really.
There's 5 Tomahawks come out. He's used the big button.
Yeah, of course he made 5 Thomas and Raphael didn't. Yeah, so that was a good mind game from Raphael, because obviously in this matchup, usually you play H2, and obviously if you see your opponent going for a Warhat forward, you expect maybe some sort of pressure. So kind of overreacting with 5 Tomahawks when in fact, well, they do nothing at all. So Raphael's up faster. He didn't spend a shipment in H2, so he has more shipments. Then again, Knusch got a second TP earlier, and he does have the 300 wood from the crates. So he can use them for houses and stuff, while Raphael is going to have to chop or to ship the 1k to resources. Then again, 1k to resources is better than 800 resources. So by keeping the shipment, Raphael is putting him potentially ahead if he gets away with shipping 1k to resources, that is. If he does, then he's ahead because he's got more resources from the crates. And yeah. But there's going to be some sort of tempo. If Raphael goes for 1k2 crates, yeah, he does. I kind of expected that because he was not chopping wood. When he does that, there's kind of a window for Knusch to ship units. and he's got his infrastructures up already. He's got more pop space. You see Raphael's house, so Raphael being a bit slower here, and I'm not sure why he's being aggressive while he's shipping the crates, but he's gonna go back because now
Raphael also going for 2 war huts instead of just a war hut and a corral, which is what you'd normally see in this sort of. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if in the mirror.
I feel like in the mirror you just spam as many forest brawlers as possible. Like it's even worse than Dutch mirror because forest brawlers are super strong and Kenya are kind of awkward to produce. So I guess it's standard to go double war hut honestly in H3.
Yeah, but as you said, look, there's 1,200 resources crates coming out, and now 8 forest brawlers coming out so much quicker from Raphael from not sending that 600 crate, and he's got this huge, massive forest brawlers of 18 units. He's just gonna push in.
And the Musket Raider is not gonna be all that good here, and
basically useless.
Tomahawks as well. Yeah, I feel like Raphael just has a superior build. He's also somehow 3 builds ahead. One is from a treasure, but also got just one more build than Knusch, probably just better macro. And that Warhead is gonna go down. Although Raphael is taking some damage for it, but he still has a massive amount of forest brawlers. That is huge, like 26 forest brawlers from Raphael, and just calling the big button, I guess, in case he has a little bit of cav from Knusch, but
yeah, and no units in queue from Knusch at all. If you were to be able to get the Carreras out, not Carreras, queers. There you go. But the Tomahawk mass is getting here, and they're now going to get elite Tomahawk. So he's not really too scared of any. Yeah, he's not going to be too scared of any cav pressure because his Tomahawk in melee are so strong, and he's going to lose a second TP here, and he's basically down a shipment already, and he's going to be down a second shipment.
Although I really like the forest brawler mass from Raphael, I would question a bit these Tomahawks. I feel like they're just pretty bad, honestly. Like, they will go forward. Let's say there's 5 gears popping now. I am confident Knusch... I mean, I'm not confident, but Knusch might win the fight. 3 upgraded Kanyas. So there might be a shipment of 6 of them following. But I feel like throwing only 3 Kanyas is not...
coming out,
I think you should have waited.
Although, as you said, these Tomahawk going down, but they're on the canyons. Look, they're going to do so much damage.
Wait.
And he's snared by the Tomahawks.
Damn it. He needed to micro that, but it's still good for... I mean, it's still okay for Knusch, but he really could have microed that better and not run his Kanyas inside of the Tomahawks. And yeah, I think Raphael did a very good job at kiting. You can see he's still far away from the green forest brawlers, even though he's snared. So... yeah, this is pretty good for Raphael, all things considered, and I would even call it GG at this point. I mean, look, he's cleaned up most of the units, he's 5 villagers ahead, and he still has map control. So now he just needs to maybe stop pushing. Like, Raphael can just sit back between his war huts, because if he keeps pushing, then this might happen.
Yeah, there's coming up. There's no anti-cav except from these 2 Tomahawks, which aren't particularly going to do too much. Although these first spells are... They do have infantry combat on them, so they don't fare too badly against Ken. But again, they're snaring. They're getting back. He's getting such a nice trade here.
Yeah, Knusch is getting a great trade. Maybe I don't know if it's enough to come back in the game because he's still 5 bills behind. And with the 2 war huts and more forest brawlers popping and the infantry combat and infantry attack, it's pretty good for Raphael still. But Raphael just overextending a little bit here. Could have just sit between the war huts and not really push anymore.
That's a nice pop from the second big button.
Yeah. Although he's going to lose some of them, but yeah.
Yeah, these war huts do so much damage against cavalry, 45 each shot, and they fire for a second, so it's basically like a TC fire just coming down on the cavalry from these 2 war huts. And he's got pushed back with a lower eco and... better upgrades, just military shipments coming out from Knuschelbär, except from the crate shipments he sent. And these forest brawlers are so much stronger than Knuschelbär's forest brawlers. Yeah,
essentially, this game would be over right now if Knusch did not get like 5 Kanyas on top of LordRaphael's skirms. That was a really good sort of comeback, but Knusch is still significantly behind, I think. Then again, okay, forest brawlers are super strong, but if you get Kanyas and your opponent doesn't, you're still sort of ahead in the unit composition, right? Like Forest Brawler Kenya is obviously going to be better than pure Forest Brawler. So, and there's a few Tomahawks, but they're really not all that great. Although they do have 2 cards on them as well. So these Tomahawks are pretty strong. But the 6 Kenyas from Raphael are not upgraded. By the way, Knusch did a good job at like picking back his Explorer. Like he just revived his Explorer and just went back. So that's really big. Wow, huge raid! Holy moly!
Oh my god, that's massive. Now eco difference is going to be in Knuschelbär's favor, and the military unit population is about equal. I mean, what can he really do to go back here? He's got a smaller mass of Kenya. These Tomahawks are so immobile that he can't actually catch up with the Kenya themselves, and he doesn't have a musket riders because he doesn't have a corral. So yeah, I mean,
Raphael needed to keep pressuring now. I feel like because there's like a big part of Knusch's army is raiding, and Raphael is collecting no gold. He's gathering no gold whatsoever at the moment because he saw these guys coming here, so he pulled his wheels back. And meanwhile, gathering like literally no gold. He should probably go in this coin mine. It's a safer coin mine he's got already. But yeah, you know that is maybe a comeback from Knusch. I mean, he's still really behind in military because of the 2 infantry upgrades. But imagine Krios popping now, it's GG, right? But there's no shipment on the way, but there will be a shipment in some seconds.
Yeah, and these Kenya coming back. I mean,
maybe
there's not a huge amount of anti-cav. These Tomahawks, as you said, are incredibly strong units, 63 damage versus cavalry, but they have to get into contact with the cavalry to be able to do that. And realistically, this massive Kenya and these forest pilots can just snipe the Tomahawks off. And what can Raphael do? Even though they are so strong, they have to get into combat, and they can't as it stands, really.
He's actually starting to be behind in military. Like he was ahead in military most of the time, but now, oh well, it's pretty close. Military is close. Raphael is now ahead in military actually, shipping 5 Kenyas, but still not upgraded, so not that great already. I feel like you need the Krios. When you don't have vet Kenya, you might as well ship the 5 Krios because they're vet by default, right? Then again, I guess he didn't have the gold for Krios because, like I said, he was pushed off his gold mine. So that's why he's been making more Tomahawks because he doesn't need gold for Tomahawks. And now dancing for his war chief. But it's probably going to switch to war dance as soon as they start fighting. So obviously Raphael wants to fight here. Like he's already dancing, so he's ready to fight. He wants to fight. Dancing for War Chief is actually kind of smart because it means you can go in and crack shot and your War Chief is not gonna die because it has 2k HP basically. You see, like it's tanking so much. It's actually pretty smart. And then you can switch to War Dance and pull your War Chief back. So yeah, it's now kind of now or never for Raphael. Although he did kill more Vils, I guess, because now the eco is back to almost even.
Yeah, and he's sort of idled Vild over here, which can't really do anything. I think this is just a fight which is going to decide the game completely. And
yeah,
again, as you were saying, if he gets like a queer pop from this war hut onto those first fellas, it's going to be completely GG. These Tomahawks are just going to go down so quickly, and the musket bird is on top of everything.
But he shipped infantry combat, and there's not going to be any Krios popping anytime soon. Oh well, maybe now he could send them, but he doesn't have the gold. Maybe just ship like, I don't know what he can ship. He used so many unit shipments already. But anyway, Knusch tanking in the fight with villagers in front, so he's going to be significantly behind, but he's also going to hold this. Maybe going to clean up. Just too many musket riders, really. Like, I don't know why he makes that many of them when LordRaphael is barely having any Kenya. I feel like more Kenyas would have been absolutely huge here. Imagine a Kenya pop instead of a musket rider pop would have cleaned this up. The Tomahawk's getting sniped. 2 Kenyas gonna be dying, but probably just enough to you know, clean up the Forest Brawlers, kind of, with his own Forest Brawlers behind. War Chief going back up. Gonna get the crack shot. Oh my god, that was big.
Yeah. But again, as you said, look at the difference in the eco.
Yeah, it's
GG. Raphael's still ahead. He is dancing for his War Chief still, though. I think he was doing that the whole time, and Knuschelbär saying, "Yeah, GG coming up."
Just cool. It's just yeah. But
well
yeah,
played game from both players, but I think that 600 shipment and making the tomahawks was a mistake. Sort of Raphael faking out that forward war hut and going just for an FF.
I think I mean, it's 800 on EP
Oh,
was
800
like
even, yeah.
actually okay, but the tomahawks were the big problem. Like it put him so far behind. Like imagine they would age at the same time, pretty much, and without the 5 tomahawks, they would age almost at the same time, and he would have 800 resources, which means you get infrastructures, and then you can ship units first. While Raphael kind of has to ship 1k2 resources first, and then you can try to push with your unit shipment. Although I'm not sure if it would work, but it's an idea, you know. It's a bit like, let's say in a French mirror, one player would ship 700 wood in H2, while the other would wait for 1k wood and ship 1k wood first. Then you get 8 skirms, you have a window to push. Even though it's less wood, you have your infrastructures up, so you have a window. And it would have been the same here, but the problem is that he was so much later with the 5 tomahawks he trained and the second trading post he chopped for, that at the end of the day, yeah, Raphael was just way ahead early on. There was almost a nice comeback, like really, really nice raid from Knusch, killing a lot of views. Nice fight with the Kanyas at some point from Knusch as well at like 11:30, I think. But then eventually Raphael just, bringing it back and just winning.
Are you still in game?
Yeah, I'm just checking the graphs.
Check Raphael's deck. He has 8 tomahawks instead of 9, which is odd. Maybe you should change that. But yeah, as you said, like,
Oh, yeah. And he actually shipped them as well.
yeah, so he's basically getting 1 less tomahawk. So he's getting 100 less resources because he has the wrong shipment in deck. But a nice game, a really close game as well. I think just a mistake made from Knuschelbär of not just straight FFing and doing a semi-FF instead, because he thought the pressure was going to come from Raphael's war huts.
Yeah, it's kind of rock paper seesaw, right? It's hard to tell. It's hard to scout. Although you can scout with your pets and stuff, but it's hard to read. Well, it's not actually that hard to scout, right? If you see hero, I mean, your opponent is mining gold, then you pretty much know he's going FF. So he needed to scout. He did not scout. He just saw the forward war hut or expected a forward war hut, and just assumed Raphael would be aggressive in H2, so he started by making 5 tomahawks. Then he realized it was not even the big button, by the way. They came out of the war hut, so he retrained 5 tomahawks, which
Okay, that's even
kind of
worse.
sucks. And then Raphael just in fact went H3, and Knusch realized there was not pressure coming, so he just went up as well. But you have to scout before you make units, I guess, and just like, if you see he's mining gold, you know he's not gonna have any units, or maybe 5 tomahawks. But if he mines gold, he's not gonna get more than that, and you don't have to make units yourself then, and you can just go up. So it's really important to scout in that kind of matchup, and it probably cost Knusch the game. Anyway, that makes it 1-1. So interesting game, another good game, I think. And now we're gonna move into game 3, where it's gonna be Alaska and Raphael picking first. Oh well, I don't need to tell them.
Yeah, they should know.
They already selected Alaska, so.
Don't like this map. I really hate it.
What I dislike about this map is that it's extremely limiting in the civs you can pick as must no TP maps. Like, I think it's just a bit sad that must no TP maps also happen to have low hunts, because then you pretty much have to pick only an aggressive civ.
Like Russia, India, or Aztec.
Right.
Really
and Dutch to some extent, because they don't need that much map and they do fine in no TP. But like, you can't even really Brits on this map, right? Because Brits against India or Russia on a low hunt map like that, it's not going to be too good. So you can't really pick that many civs because it's no TP low hunt. That's what I dislike about this kind of map. I feel like a map like Pompasieras is a bit better, because even though it's no TP, you have more hunts, so it's viable for Brits, more viable for Dutch. Even a civ like France does sort of, or ports. Well, no, ports are kind of bad, but I mean, some civs do sort of okay on Pampa Sierras, China also is sort of okay. But on Alaska, you pretty much have to be like, yeah, India, Russia, Aztecs, or Dutch kind of, and it's a bit limiting. And we'll see, but we can almost 100% know it's gonna be one of the civ. Like we probably just gonna see India, Russia again, which is a little bit sad. But you know, it's still. I don't hate the map. I think it's okay. But
one thing I really dislike though is the treasure, the Nukta treasure, which always spawns on this map. If you play against Russia and you get the Nukta treasure, it's ridiculous because you can't get up a forward blockhouse easily if you get spotted, and it just ruins again. And it's one of the main gripes I have with a lot of the maps with having just nat treasures constantly.
Yeah, but that's more a problem of the treasures themselves, because when you build a map, when you build a map, you have to select treasure set from the RE usually. So this is like Northwest Territory. So it's the same treasures as Northwest Territory, which is a map you, by the way, never see, but it's an RE map. So essentially, there's a Nootka on Northwest Territory, so there is also a Nootka on Alaska. So you can't really do much about that. But what you can do is nerf the Nootka treasure, and that will be done soon enough. So no worries about that. Next EP, the Nootka will not snare anymore, I believe. We'll have to see. It's not done yet, but it will most likely not snare, and it will have probably a multiplier against buildings and against villagers. So yeah, that should be all right. It will still be able to sort of kill explorers, but without snaring. So it's it's gonna be nerfed, and
it'll be like a treasure guardian, which is being converted, correct? So like the
still stronger.
Yeah, because blowgunners, they still have like a 0.1 against villagers, is what I mean.
Yeah. The multiplayer will maybe a bit more than that. It still has to be viable and not total garbage, right? So it's probably going to be like 0.25 multiplier against vills, so that you can still sort of do something, but not really like you send a vill on the map against a Nootka, it's dead. If it's found, it's dead, right? It's just dead. Then with a multiplier at 0.25, it will be possible maybe to eventually harass vills, but not like outright kill the vill. Anyway,
yeah.
But yeah, I kind of agree that the treasures on this map aren't the best. There's also useless ones like 2 vills for 100 pirates, that kind of stuff spawning, just pretty annoying. And then your opponent just finds 110 wood or 150 wood or 80 wood or 85 wood or 60 wood. Like there's so many wood treasures, and you just get like livestock or something useless. So yeah, but that will be changed. So there we go into another India Russia. We are extremely surprised.
We've seen this matchup so many times on this map.
Yeah,
but
that's
the only
problem.
game we've casted which hasn't been India Russia on this map. We didn't even cast it. It was Le Castet and him on his own casting Russia. It was India Aztec, wasn't it? It was casted against you. In your
Aztec Russia.
Yeah, Aztec Russia is the only matchup which hasn't been India Russia on
and
this
there was still Russia. So yeah, but anyway, we are now 1-1. I mean, the score is 1-1 between LordRaphael and Knusch, so it's even between the Nila Ninjas, the Knuschelbär team, whose manager is, by the way, the one and only Azamk, and also one for the SKG, manager being Prince of Kabul and the champion being Sampukanku. And the champion and the Ninjas is, I believe, I Am Turk. So yeah, interesting. This matchup is not we've seen it a lot, but it's sort of a matchup that evolved a little bit. It used to be always Russia hard rushing and then keeping the pressure all the time, and India just trying to survive. And nowadays we see people aging a bit more. Maybe we can see some water potential. I don't know. There's different options for Russia, and we have here on top of the map Knuschelbär as India in the color green, and on the other side of the map it's LordRaphael in the color blue playing Russia, and it's a coin start, which is potentially a bit better for Russia. They can get a market going, but honestly, most of the time you can't.
I think
So.
it's better for Russia as a whole anyway, because obviously India really like that wood start. It speeds them up quite a lot, and in comparison, Russia with a wood start isn't particularly very good. It doesn't add anything to Russia. Russia really want that food start so they can get a nice early age up in comparison.
If you can get you can sometimes get a market, especially on this map, because there's some gold treasures in your base most of the time, and there's some lots of wood treasures. But yeah, for sure, the wood start is way better for India. It's a guaranteed like 20 seconds faster age up or something like that. It's just really good, and also getting 120 XP.
Which
XP
is
being just
nice.
very good for India, because India gets a shipment slower, and they also get an extra villager with each shipment. So it's a bit like Germany getting extra XP, so it's pretty good. And he will get his wood treacle extremely early thanks to that. Like you can see, it's already on the way, while LordRaphael doesn't quite have a shipment ready.
Knuschelbär has quite a heavy water deck. Well, I say quite heavy. He's got the two frigates and over two caravels and a frigate, as well as fish market in Age 1, which isn't normally what you'd see as India, as a sort of anti-water deck. You'd only see the caravels and the frigates. So you might go water, you never know. Because obviously the Asians schooners card is, I think it's slightly worse. Fishing boats only get a 20%.
It's kind of better for a small water boom, but worse for a big water boom, because you get more wood at start. Like you get a free dock, which is really nice. Like, but obviously, if you want to go for a big boom, you'd rather have the training time, because it's actually huge. Like the fact that with schooners and EP you can train fishing boats that much faster is really nice for your boom. I did some math recently about it. I don't remember exactly, but it's like really, really absolutely huge. Like if you ship schooners and you make like 20 boats, you get something like 1K food or 2K food from just popping the boats that much faster. It's actually insane. But still, if you go for like, I don't know, 10 or 15 boats, maybe the dock wagon from Asian Civs is better. But either way, I don't think we'll see water directly from Knusch. It's probably just as a potential follow-up. Maybe after holding the rush, when he feels safe in his base, instead of like moving out on the map, he might just add a dock and get some food from the fish. We'll see about that. But it does hurt India a little bit to have two cards dedicated to water in H2. Like that's a big thing, right? The H1, the H3 cards are not too relevant in this matchup maybe, but like not having two cards in H2 means he doesn't get the melee upgrade on his Sowars. To be fair, it might be okay. But he also doesn't get... Well, I guess he's got most of the cards still, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, and sort of the interesting treasures have already gone here. The Cougar, mature Cougar kit is completely useless. Nobody wants that. Two stray sheep, nice for India. He's gonna pick that up right now. And the two CDB, it's far too powerful. The Guardians to really take it now. I mean, Russia could take it quite easily when it gets its sort of a nice mass going, and just before it pushes into India, which would be a nice boost to Russia's economy. But overall, the sort of treasure. I don't know who won Age 1. I think probably Raphael actually. It's quite even though. 60 wood for Knusch.
I would say it's Knusch favored, just because the 120 XP also meant he's got his wood treacle like 40 seconds earlier than Raphael, and 40 seconds of wood treacle is 50 wood, so it's essentially another wood treasure. Like it basically makes up for Raphael getting not quite 80 wood, but you know what I mean. Like it's extra wood, so I feel like at the end of the day, Knusch has more wood. He's got XP. And he's got two sheep, which will give him more XP. Although Raphael did get 90 coins. So it's kind of even, but I'd give the edge maybe to Knusch, but it's definitely close. That bill, I've been watching that bill closely. I don't understand what it's doing. He's
trying to herd the hunts back. But these two Russian villagers are just going to come back and shoot them the other way. So
yeah, I mean,
exactly.
Does he really need that? Like, he's got quite a lot of food actually in his base.
And berries and base. You have to remember in Alaska, you get berries and base, which is nice. For,
the Agra though, Raphael has to be careful. It does a lot of damage to bills.
Might lose one.
No, he's gonna be alright.
Not quite. But he has to be careful. That villager might get caught out somewhere, lose a villager basically for free. It's only 50 HP on that villager before hunting. Before, and these 2 sepoy coming out, he might be able to pick him off. He's gonna lose his explorer definitely.
Nah, he's not, because elephants don't snare. But it's actually Raphael kind of baiting the sepoys forward, because then the Cossacks can get on top of them maybe. 10 street that's coming in, so that's just a very standard Russian pressure in this matchup.
And Q as well, as we were saying when we casted the other games, like you got a bit disappointed when people who were playing as India went for Gurkha, no, sepoy heavy mass.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God he goes for Gurkhas. Although the problem is that he kind of wasted his sepoys. He needed to keep them like here behind his TC and behind his aggro. He needs to keep the sepoys alive to deal with the Cossacks. But still, though, I mean, for Gurkhas, he needs the sentries. He's fine here if he just pops the anti-cav Minutemen on top of the Cossacks, but he just lets them die. So yeah, here sepoys would have been better. But you need to defend properly. Like, you can't lose your elephants, you can't lose your 2 sepoys, and you need to pop the sentries. So now it's actually a little bit dicey for Knusch. He's losing a Veer as well. He's getting idled a lot.
5 gardeners coming out though. These Cossacks are low HP. All of them are low HP. But the musketeers coming in the back of this, and he's losing so many villagers.
What? Did you see that Bill? It died right when the cannonball came in from the aggro, so the Bill actually got like blown away. Even though it's a friendly aggro fort, it's still somehow that was so weird.
5 Cossack, 4 Cossack coming in, probably 13 Shullet coming in after this, and these gardeners just die instantly. These Minutemen would be nice from the consulate when they come out, but he just doesn't quite have enough. And you have to remember, when the villagers are in the TC, they don't gather export, so it's not going to be very quick.
Yeah, and you know, some people ship like 4 Star first, which is, in my opinion, just bad. But going for 300 export and getting the Hussars is almost equally bad in my eyes, because you just put yourself behind basically. And I don't know, he will still be able to get Minutemen sort of soon when he hits 200 export, but as you said, his Veers are idle, so he's not getting that much export. And also dropping a stable, but he doesn't have any resources coming in, so I don't know.
There are Gurkhas in queue, and I think Knuschelbär is sort of hoping on the fact that these Cossacks are the only Cossacks that come from Raphael, because they're so low HP. 13 shots coming out.
That is kind of odd.
I think if you can get some Sowars in queue against these shots, it'd be so nice.
I mean, it's just like once the Cossacks are dead, there's not much to challenge the Gurkhas, unless Knusch kind of wastes them like that. But, you know, like 5 or 10 Gurkhas would totally kill this army, including the Streetettes. Still, though, the Streetettes are nice here because he still has a couple of Cossacks. He's going to be able to kill the 2 extra Gurkhas here. And at this point, every single Gurkha matters for Knusch. He needs everything he can get to hold that. So it's looking pretty good for Raphael. I mean, look at the scores. It's essentially looking kind of over, unless Knusch can do some sort of sick comeback. But he's also shipping 600 gold to mass units, but it's not ideal either.
Yeah, I think what he wants to try and do is try and get a massive Sowars out. And, oh no, he's not. I thought he was going to hold them back and then pop them with a Sowar pop, but he's just wasting them against these musketeers. He's lost basically 2 now. One of them is so low HP. And realistically, what can he do against this mass? He has Gurkha and Q, obviously. His last Cossack going down. Flying off his horse. Yeah, but yeah, this massive Strellet and Musketeer is really quite hard for India to deal with. These Sowars, I mean, they might be okay cavalry, but they're sort of useless. I think he should just go out and try and raid. If he can try and get these villagers up here, it'd be nicer than just walking around his own base. But
to raid, you mean? Well, I mean, they're just so bad at raiding, though. They kind of lose to Veers because they have 20 attack and low HP. But they of course, they can raid. But they're not the greatest raid unit. Like, you know, but, well, yeah, he could try. But he's kind of busy defending his base, I guess. Now he's got 2 Gurkhas and 3 Sowars. It's really not much. But, you know, it's kind of enough to just annoy Russia and prevent him from sieging for free. So it might just be what he needs. He needs to stop. He needs to keep outranging, though. He can't just stand there with his Gurkhas. He needs to hit and run the Streetettes. Abuse the range advantage. And also, I kind of question 5 sepoys because there's no cav yet. Although there is a stable up for Russia now, but...
Yeah, Gurkha's in queue from Knuschelbär, and also Raphael's now got a stable down, so he's going to have some Cossacks out. And except from these sepoys, which will be able to defend, these Gurkha don't really have much protection. Well, Zabraks are coming out.
We have to keep in mind, though, that Knusch hasn't called Minutemen yet. None of the Minutemen, I mean, neither from the TC nor from the Consulate. So as much as he would like to keep the export maybe for the 4 vills when he hits 300, he can still defend. I think now he's sort of safe for the time being. Like, he's got 3 sets of Minutemen, essentially, or you can say maybe 2 sets, because like the TC ones are basically 1 set. And then he's got Zembaraks and just a better unit composition. So I think Raphael can't really do much right now. He's also gone for Boyars, which is a little bit greedy because he doesn't have a ton of units or something. Like, he didn't do, for example, 700 gold for more Cossacks. He's got just Boyars, so it's not like he's going to be able to push that much now. Even though the military looks extremely one-sided, I feel like if India pops Minutemen, Russia is just going to have to go back. Like, even just the sentries. But Knusch needs to hit and run a bit better than that. Like, he can't just let his Emberax die.
He's getting attacked. I mean, there's only one of them really left alive. And yeah, even though you've got this fire from the outfit, he needs the Minutemen now.
The sentry's popping on the wrong side. Well. No. I think it would have been enough to just clean up the... Oh, but no. Oh, wow. That's a lot of stuff, though.
Nice. Vassal's on the wrong units, really. They're on the Cossacks instead of the Strats, which they want to be on.
This should have been...
do come up.
This should have been a huge cleanup. It should have been a huge cleanup for Knusch, honestly. He had like so much stuff popping. He could have killed the entire army, I think. But
I mean, don't count Knusch out.
No,
now.
He's not gonna clean up because there's no Sawars left. So Raphael's just gonna go back if he wants to, and he does not even because. Well, why would you go back when your Streets are trading, right? Like, it's Streets. So as long as Gorkhas are not hit and running, you can keep fighting with Streets. So, but yeah, he's going back now, and you know, all in all, like, was this good for Russia? Yeah, I think it wasn't the best pop for India. And at the end of the day, he's used his Minutemen, so he's not gonna get the vills, and he's used his TC Minutemen, or some of them at least. So that was a one-time pop. India has no more unit shipments and basically no more Minutemen. So now he cannot do that again. And this Gorkha's pathing on the wrong side of the market, getting caught by...
Oh, that's going to be...
what is going on? He's not paying attention. Okay, but he's still going to catch them.
And where's the anti-cav? There's only 5 Zambavaks back. And he's... Yeah, I mean, as the Strutters over here getting on the Zambavaks themselves.
This is
the house head blocking, which is nice.
Probably GG. The last Minutemen popping, but I mean, there's just way too many Cossacks and only 5 or 4 or 3 Zembaraks left. A good focus fire from Raphael, sorry, cleaning up the Zembaraks pretty quickly. Also, meanwhile, sieging down a house, by the way, and these masks can come flank. So that's just GG really. I mean, yeah,
GG coming out, as you said. I do hope we don't see this matchup again now. It's fun to watch.
Good
and
girlfriend.
Obviously, as Nush says.
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, the matchup it's so predictable. Like, it's basically Russia rushing into India, or having a timing against India, and India holds. If India holds, they win normally.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting game, but the matchup is a bit stale.
Well, I kind of like this kind of matchup because it's not symmetrical, it's not passive, there's always action, you know. It's like this one side is trying to pressure and the other trying to defend, and then you can see how well the India player can defend. Like, it's much easier as Russia to just apply pressure. So looking at Russia streaming units in isn't super exciting, but I like to see the India player defending, you know, just like microing, popping stuff and trying to hold. And I think it's nice. But yeah, we've seen this matchup maybe a bit too much.
What did you? One thing I have to say though is the pop of those Minutemen, Sawars, and also the Minutemen there could have gone so much better for Nush.
Yeah.
He could have got right on the Strelets. He could have got right on the Cossacks of those sentries, which are basically pikemen, and he would have. I reckon, as you said, he would have cleaned up the, especially with the elephants at the back here coming in, just stomping around.
Yeah.
With the Gurkha firing at the back, it would have been an incredibly nice cleanup and probably game changing.
Yeah, it's you really don't need much more. It's like it's a matchup where you can pop so much stuff and you have to pop it right at the right time. You have to micro really well. Like early on, just wasting the 2 sepoys and the elephants like Knusch did means he was not able to cover his Gorkhas. And yeah, it's just then after that pop could have been much better, but we can't say that it's really hard to play as India for sure. It's in my eyes still probably India favored, but it's just so hard to play it right, and everyone kind of fucks up in this matchup because it's insanely hard to hold that.
Yeah, and Russia in like any matchup is the easiest ever, isn't it? Because Russia, generally speaking, is quite easy. The macros are easy. You basically just, well, yeah, the macro.
The macro is actually a little bit hard. Like it's probably the hardest thing as Russia because you need to macro your batches, which is harder than macroing, making only units 1 by 1 in vills 1 by 1. Here you have to really macro that. But that's the only hard thing about Russia, basically. Everything else is easy. The micro is easy, the strategy is easy, and rushing is always easier than defending. But I guess auto is still easier than Russia, but that's it. It's probably the second easiest CF. And you can see it even in the graph. Raphael just getting perfect Vil graph, and Knusch under pressure, sometimes not training Vils, sometimes losing Vils. You know, it's just hard as India. So yeah, at the end of the day, Russia outgathering so much, outmassing so much, and getting pretty good trades considering how much cheaper his units are. So yeah, that makes it 2-1 for Raphael. So he's pulling ahead now. And that was on his first pick. I believe Raphael picked Russia first and Knusch counterpicked. So now Knusch will have to pick first.
Yeah, but how do you counterpick Russia on that map? I don't think you can.
Well, with India, but you have to play it really well, I guess.
Yeah. The Civs have reset now, haven't they?
That is a good point. Yeah, I forgot about that. Map is Mendocino. And I'm just double checking. Yeah, and Knusch picks first. Also, guys, I'd like to remind you that all donations made during this stream and during any other stream of the EPL is how much is it? 40% of it going into
50. Half of it.
Half of the donations will go in the to the prize pool of this event with these players you're watching.
Which is, I think, around $700 now. It's gone up quite a lot because a lot of people have donated. Miter donated $50. Headkillers donated probably about $120 at this point.
Yeah, more than 100 for sure.
And then there's a smattering of $5 donations, $2 donations. Some people putting is sort of spamming $1 donations at one point. So
and I think maybe someone else donated 50, or maybe I just dreamed.
If someone did have to, maybe it was How to Talk, Please Help, because you know what he does.
Maybe.
Or
well, anyway,
I will spank or something like that. Someone might have done.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, we cannot actually see the donation history. We would have to access the Streamlabs. But thanks a lot to everyone who donated, of course. And yes, it's increasing a lot the prize pool because it used to be 400. I think the basis was $400 of prize pool, and now 500. It's 500. Okay. And now already at 700, so quite nice, really.
We haven't even finished the first week, so it shows you how fast. Iro coming back from Raphael, so we're going to see the same matchup again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to do the German lobby, you know, but why are these players...
I don't know.
Germany is super strong, but... Let's face it. Why are they not playing Germany into Euro, or why are they not picking Euro first, Germany first? Just because Euro is so strong, and sure, Germany is extremely strong. It's one of the top civs, but I just want to say that it's not the only one. Like Euro is in my opinion, as good as Germany. And you can see they just don't play German Miro, or they just Euro, because it's Euro. I don't know, it's so strong. Anyway, we're going into game 4, so it's 2-1 now for LordRaphael, and looking to win more games, obviously, as each game counts. It's not like winning 3-2 is satisfying. You have to win 4-1 if you really want to get a lot of points, right? Because there's a big difference between right. There's a big difference between getting 3 points to your team if you're 4-1 and getting only 1 point if you're 3-2. So, yeah, we have you on. You want to introduce the players, maybe?
Yeah. So from in the north of the map in the color blue, we have LordRaphael playing Riotcoke, and in the south of the map we have Knuschelbär also playing Riotcoke on color green. A wood start for both players, so probably a TC coming up, and yeah, wood.
A TP,
cutting wood is a TP, not TC, sorry. And yeah, Raphael cutting wood, but he's going to find this really nice 95 wood treasure, which is huge in this matchup, absolutely massive.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's sort of game changing. It shows you how strong treasures are, and it's going to be a Renegado, an Alpha Rifleman, which is incredibly nice. And what you have to remember is Raphael won the first match in this sort of matchup. It's going to be the same sort of game, in my opinion. Maybe Raphael might go for an H2 player instead, but with this 95 wood, it's huge. Look at the villager seconds. He's going to probably get a 20-second, 30-second faster age up just because of that huge wood treasure. Meanwhile, Raphael, Knuschelbär, so not really finding anything decent. 90 food though.
Well, that's really good. But yeah, it's not as good as the wood, but it means that they maybe will be aging up at around the same time. But yeah, it's the other thing is that treasure was lame, man. I mean, it was right next to the TP, and you know, let's say you're like France or Germany, you need to first build your TP, right? Because you have the 200 wood at start. But as hero, you start with only 100 wood, so you first need to get the wood and then build the TP. So my point is that as hero, you don't mind first fighting the treasure before you can build your TP, and well, then build your TP, right? It's not like you have to take it after building your TP. So it's even better. Like he just went in, took the treasure, built his TP. While on the other hand, Knusch was like taking the 90 food, chopping wood, and then now he's building his TP and actually missing the XP as well. So, you know, it's already an advantage for Raphael getting a bit more XP. It's only like 35 XP.
I think he got the first pass as well, even. So he might have just got 2 passes. Maybe not, actually.
No, I don't. If you look at the XP, it's only like... yeah, it's 20 XP difference, so it's like 1 pass. But it's still a small advantage. It's nice.
Yeah, and he's going to get this Rifleman.
Oh, the second one.
He's going to have 2 Renegados and the Cherokee Rifleman. I mean, Knuschelbär has to put his Travoyan base now. I mean, those two so much damage, basically 80 damage each shot they do on the Travoy, plus this one, which is going to basically do 100 damage each shot. So it's a 2-shot kill, that Travoy, or a 3-shot kill.
Yeah, it's...
And he's going to get the 80 XP down here if he sees it. So Raphael having probably one of the best age ones you could probably see in this matchup.
I've seen better, but yeah, it's definitely really good. And like, sorry for that. Maybe we will see some sort of different game from the first Euro Miro in Florida, because they both have a trading post in age 1. Which means they might just want to fast age, and I confirm that Raphael is fast aging right now. Knowing Knusch though, I expect him to just go. Woman. Yeah, he always does this in Euro Miro basically. He just goes Wise Woman and then tries to get to H3. But it's gonna be way harder now to get to H3 because Raphael is not going for any kind of fortress play. He might age up eventually later on, but not anytime soon because you have a slow age to H3 when you age fast. And he kind of knows maybe that Knusch is also not going to fast age because he's dropping his Warhead so much forward. And he's ready to just rush, right? And Knusch is going to just be up way later and he will have to defend really well. Although...
like a little clash here. Knuschelbär's sort of army he had here from age 1 dying to these... I mean, they are just overpowered, these riflemen. They're ridiculous. But in a way, there's a small army.
Sorry, your voice...
Sorry. would have been so important defending, but now he's lost it. He might even lose his own explorer here.
He's CC firing, which is probably the right thing to do at this point. And he will age up and get extra HP on it. But yeah, he's losing a lot of HP on his explorer.
Yeah, and these riflemen just showing how sort of overpowered they are. So
what the?
He's gonna lose.
Oh, he should have TC fired the Renegado. He should have focused it down. But now he's up. But yeah, it's an extra 100 XP for Raphael. So look, he's almost a shipment ahead now. Oh, is he? I'm not sure, actually, but...
Yeah, but look, Kenya coming in, he's going to lose it again, so another 100 XP down.
Yeah, he's getting the crack shot in, but yeah. And the Warhead is going to be extremely low HP.
Especially with Tomahawk coming in. I think that what's going to go down.
2 Warheads. I didn't pay attention, but yeah, it's weird, weird but good at the same time, because now he's lost his Warhead from the age up, which is big, but he has another one, so, you know. And another 100 XP, by the way, from killing the Warhead. So it's just so many shipments gonna stream in from Raphael because of the TPs, the 80 XP, the 200 XP from killing the Explorer twice, and another 100 XP from killing the Warhead. Like, he's so ahead in experience. He has to be one whole shipment ahead at this point.
Yeah, Raphael now just gonna go down and take that trading post out, and then push down onto the Warhead and the TC. So he's going to be in an incredibly nice position here, and he's basically a shipment ahead, as you were saying. So, I say a shipment ahead, probably, yeah, about half a shipment ahead. So he's, the market coming down now, and crates coming in from Raphael. So maybe he might even just transition this into a
crates coming at the same time, or almost the same time for boss players, even though Raphael already shipped 2 shipments before, and it's a Miro. It's insane. It's ridiculous.
He might lose his villager here if he gets spotted as well. Maybe not. 600 gold coming in now as well from Knuschelbär. So he's most likely going to get up quite easily.
Yeah.
But again, what does he do against this colonial pressure? And then I think Raphael might even be able to... he's going to lose a house, so he's going to be popped when he gets up. So he's going to have 8 forest palace out, but he's going to have to try and time it with that big button when he gets up. So...
And we have another $1 donation from Sampu with another funky message. Thanks a lot. And yeah, I mean, sorry to get you. What were you saying?
But, even if Knuschelbär does age here, he's going to be basically housed. So what does he do? Does he send 8 forest palace and get killed by the Kenya, or does he just hope for the best and send 8 forest palace and try and time it correctly with the big button?
Wait, what? Raphael to age up, you mean?
No, Knuschelbär's going to age up, but he doesn't have any units. So what is he going to do? He's going to be housed here. Look, as soon as he sends a shipment, he'll be housed.
I mean, he will. Well, I don't know if he can hold that. He doesn't have units. It's an FF, obviously, and he skipped the 5 vills, to be fair. So he will have a shipment ready because he didn't ship 5 vills, which is probably good actually to not ship the 5 vills here. And I don't know. Will he be able to hold? Maybe, maybe not. He needs to focus down the Kenyas with the Warhead and his TC. He needs to keep his War Chief alive. Well, it will anyway come back up once he's aged up, but it can't die far away from his base. He needs it to be... Oh, okay. Now it's not dead. It's still here.
Warhot's going to go down basically instantly, and it's going to be another 100 XP. Oh, no, another 16 XP. Sorry, it was still building.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, as Knuschelbär said it. Yeah, that would trade unfair.
I don't think so. He was still up at the same time, but he just didn't fast age, and he could have, because regardless of the wood treasure, he had a TP. He could have fast age. He just decided to go for slow age, and in my opinion, it's just bad. Like you can't slow age in Miro if your opponent is just fast aging. You have to fast age as well. So whenever you get like a TP, you just fast age in this matchup. I'm pretty sure you can't FF. You can't FF against that. So just honestly, just misplayed from Knusch. Raphael did get a solid start, but I mean,
so
realistically, they clicked up. They clicked up at the same time. I mean, they made the same amount of vills before aging, so you can't say it's because of the wood treasure, right? They had the same age up. It's just because Knusch went slow age, so he was a whole minute later in age 2, and then he just lost vills and lost all his stuff because he didn't have any units. So naked FF is just kind of madness here, honestly. But yeah.
Just look at the shipments total. you can see how far ahead he was. Raphael was of Knuschelbär, 6 shipments to 4 shipments at the end there. There was a shipment in queue for Knuschelbär, but obviously, what could you do against a huge mass of Aina, Tomahawk, and Kenya Horsemen when all you can do is ship one type of unit?
Right. Well, the thing is that when you fast age, you don't really get Kenyas. I mean, you get 4 Kenyas, and then that's it for a while. So he could have been maybe okay for the time being with 8 Forest Brothers and his Explorer just crack shooting stuff, But the thing is that Raphael is smart, and he knows that that he needs to deal with Forest Brothers. So he was adding a stable right now, actually, just right when Knusch resigned. So he would have some Kenyas, not in a too long time, and he would probably deal with the Forest Brothers. Also, I like that Raphael didn't ship 5 Wheels. I think it was correct here. Like, he just kept the pressure all game and was able to surround Knuschelbär's base when Knuschelbär hit up. And if he did ship 5 Wheels, he would have less pressure potential. So really well played, I think, from Raphael here. Correct build order, and just Knusch not going for the right age up, I think. No, for the right strategy. Was kind of off, maybe. And that might also be why Raphael went Eero into Eero, because he knows maybe he knows how to play the Miro a bit better.
Yeah. So again, as I was saying, maybe Raphael sort of thinking that he himself was a slightly higher rated player, as he is, and maybe more confident in taking those than Knuschelbär would be. He's sort of forcing those on purpose. But Raphael picking first, and I believe it's... I don't know what that means. But what map is it now? It's a
Arizona.
TP map. Arizona.
Arizona. And Raphael picks. And players were actually typing in German, and I'm not German, but I know a little bit of German. And basically, Raphael was saying that this was just a gamble to go slow age, and because if Raphael fast ages and you go slow age, it's just over. And then Knusch is kind of complaining about the age 1, but then I don't understand what he says. But yeah, anyway, he just said it's because of the age 1. But again, he had the same age up time, so I don't think it mattered all that much. Like, as long as you age up at the same time and you can fast age and you can defend that, you're okay. Then again, of course, the two Renegados were really nice, right? They did a lot of work. And we have another $1 donation from Sampu. Thank you. I sort of suspect these donations are only to show a text on the screen, but I might be wrong.
Well, 50p of that, or 50 cents of that, goes to goes to the prize pool. So
goes to me.
I mean, yeah, if you win, it goes to you. I mean, you'll get, how many people in your team? There's 7, so you'll get like 11p. Not 11p. You'll get 7p. So Kaiser's just donating you 7 cents.
7 cents. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Thanks a lot, Sampu. Anyway. Well, now, so like I said, it's Arizona, and Raphael picks, so we'll have to see what he picks, but could just be Germany.
Yeah, Raphael known for taking quite a long time to pick, to say the least.
Yeah, which is fair. I mean...
Oh yeah, if you want to think through what you're picking, it's fine.
Yeah, you have to be careful, like...
Especially when you're at such a high level of gameplay. I mean, this is... sort of as high as the game gets, isn't it? Knuschelbär, Raphael, or if you were in Knuschelbär's slot, maybe the same. But, or Mito or something. It's just incredibly high level gameplay, and you need to think of every action. As Germany, as you said, coming in, Knuschelbär can play Iroquois again if he wants to.
No, he can't play Euro again.
Oh, it's not if you win, is it? I forgot to see.
No. Well, no. Not. I mean, you got a Civ reset, so it's not also going to be only if you win, because then it means you can basically play always the same Civ, right? So it's whenever you pick a Civ, you can't play it again, but then there's a reset, so it's not too hard. All right, Germany now. Moisbar, he says. So we'll see what Knusch picks against that. The thing is that I believe Knuschelbär's Civ pool is a little bit limited, maybe. I know he plays a lot of Civs in team, but in 1v1, I haven't really seen him play that many Civs. So he's just going to mirror again. So it's a lot of mirrors. We had only one non-mirror game in this series. But yeah, here we go. I can't complain about German mirror, though. If there's one matchup, I know it's this one. So I'm ready to cast this.
I need to change my... there you go. Everyone's going to be Germany. But yeah, so, yeah, German mirror. Normally, it's sort of DOPS, isn't it, nowadays? And only people from being buffed.
There's lots of ways to play it. Yeah, I mean, it's true that Ulans are nerfed and DOPS are buffed. So it's kind of an incentive to make DOPS and not Ulans in Colonial. But I mean, anyway, doesn't matter if they're buffed and nerfed. Even on RE, if you fight DOPS with Ulans, they just get totally slaughtered, right? So I'm not sure the buff really matters because it's anyway like a dominant unit. But the question is not really that. It's more about the strategy and the build order. But sometimes you go DOP, sometimes you don't. There's just so many things you can do in German Mirror. You can even go crossbow DOP. You can go DOP cab. You can go just cab semi, DOP semi. There's lots of ways to play it. More or less aggressive, and we'll see how these players play it. But I know Raphael likes to usually play it sort of standard and just open up with a stable and then adapt into either DOPS in Colonial or just Age. So we'll have to see. I don't really know how Knusch plays it, but we'll see about that. Either way, this is 3-1 in this player 05. So this is the match point kind of for the last game of this series. And we have here on the bottom of the map Knusch in the color green, hoping for a comeback, I guess, because again, if he wins this game, it's not too bad. His team only loses sort of. I mean, Raphael's team will get only 1 point, but if he loses this game, Raphael's team, the SKG, will get 3 points. And on top of the map, we have Raphael himself, so playing Germany as well in the color blue, and they both going for a market because I believe it was a coin star.
It was a coin. Was a coin star. Knuschelbär getting an incredibly nice treasure at the start of the game. We got 55 coin with that Outlaw Rider, which is, I think, one of the best treasures you can get in your base when you spawn. Or the best treasure you can get is 50 coin in your base when you spawn. Or 40 wood, maybe.
Well, depends on the map. The best treasure would be 50 wood with a lion. But on this map specifically, you don't get 50 coin like the small treasures like the beavers or the muskrats or whatever they're called. The muskrats give only 10 or 20 or 30 coin at best.
Yeah, so that 55 coin treasure is really, really important. I mean, it's basically gone on the Hunting Dogs so much earlier. Look, Hunting Dogs only just coming in now for Raphael. So he's had probably 30 seconds worth of Hunting Dogs, which may have equated to maybe 50, 60 food.
Yeah, I sort I sort of suspect that Raphael mismacroed maybe because he shouldn't get Hunting Dogs that late, because he could have just chopped 50 wood directly and then get Hunting Dogs. But it's definitely really good for Knusch, because he was able to mine. Wait, let me check. He mined only 10 gold. He mined only 10 gold and got 65 gold from treasures. So then he could directly buy 100 wood and get Hunting Dogs and then chop the 50 wood for the house. While Raphael probably had to chop or mine more resources before he could get Hunting Dogs. So not only does Raphael have to mine and chop more, which means he will gather less food, but he also gets Hunting Dogs later. We can check in the text completed, a full 40 seconds later. So you can see already that Raphael is going to age up later than Knusch, most likely, even though he gets also 80 XP, which maybe boosted his 2 settler wagon shipment by a bit. But still, it's a pretty good start.
Food. Knuschelbär getting 80 food, and Raphael... Wow. Yeah, so Knuschelbär might even be able to get up on... Yeah, it's going to get up at 17. And Raphael maybe on 18.
Nah, he will be fine.
Stick to 17. Yeah,
it looks 17. It looks like he got his settler wagons 30 seconds earlier thanks to the 80 XP. So this is also really nice. Still have to give the edge, I think, to Knusch in this H1, but the 80 XP is really quite nice for Germany, so it's not too bad for LordRaphael. It's sort of a close H1, even though it's Knusch favored. And you can see they hit up at basically the same time, so...
Yeah, but yeah, basically all the treasures which are worth anything, except from this 70 coin here, have gone on the map. This map has particularly weak treasures, really. Look, there's a cow treasure, which is completely useless. 2 cows with 4 cougars, completely useless. HP treasure, which is also useless, and 2 stray sheep. So, realistically,
Speed, yeah.
all the treasure, any of the treasures here have gone. Is it speed?
Yeah, it's 25% speed, which
Well,
is actually good in H2 if you have 2 Ulans and you go pick it up, and then you pick it up with a Vil, and then all your Vils are 5 speed instead of 4 speed, which is quite broken.
I thought it was only the Explorer. I actually didn't know
No, it says... I tested it because I wasn't sure. I was thinking it's only for the one Vil that picks it up, but no, it's for all Vils. And yeah, it makes them 5 speed. Then again, it's not as good for Germany because they have 2 types of Vils, right? They have settler wagons and Vils. So you pick it up with a Vil, but your settler wagons will still be 4 speed. But imagine if you're friends and you just pick that up and you get like 5.4 speed CDBs or something. No, actually even more than that. It's like 5.50.
Who's going to get that? I think Knuschelbär's got it. Yeah, Knuschelbär killing 70 coins, stealing it from Rafa.
Oh.
And yeah, so I think age 1 maybe slightly going to Knuschelbär, but relatively speaking, quite equal. Well, especially on this map, seeing as I was saying, has quite weak treasures.
With the 70 coin, yeah, it's pretty good for Knusch, but still sort of close. Also, yeah, this map doesn't always have weak treasures, but this is kind of a weak spawn, maybe. You sometimes get more good treasures and sometimes not. Either way, we do have a trading post for boss players, obviously, and a stable in base for boss players. So this is going to be a standard gem and mirror. And it doesn't look like there's going to be too many funky things like a forward double build or a straight FF or something like that. It's just a standard cap opening. And boss players actually scouting and barely escaping the 2 Ulans with the explorers, both of them. I don't know if they scouted the stable. I assume they probably both scouted the opponent's building and then went back, because obviously you can scout Germany, but it has to be before the first shipment with the 2 free Ulans, or else you're just going to lose your explorer for free. So yeah, good job from boss players, just scouting but not losing the explorer, which is something you very often see against Germany, just people losing the explorer randomly. And yeah, they both have cap. They're both gonna look. Actually, Knusch,
he might be doing it. Actually, he might be doing, as you said, taking his treasure. Where's the? Or maybe he's just walking around.
He kind of needs to tank with the explorer though, because the Ulans would die to. I mean, you would lose at least 1 Ulan to the treasure guardians, which is not what you want. Raphael not quite.
Yeah, he's gonna take a nice fight here, especially if he gets the snare off of explorer. He gets. Oh, so he's gonna get a really nice fight here.
Barely gonna escape, but well, so he's killing 1 Ulan and the explorer, so it's still quite nice for Knusch.
It's nice for Knusch. And if just look at the difference in military unit population from 22. Oh no, now it's changed.
Yeah.
So
that's because
the fight here.
Knusch, I believe, bought 100 wood because he was housed, while Raphael decided to wait for the 700 wood. So I think Knusch just got a better batch of Ulans out, but now Raphael caught up and the military is sort of equal. Sorry, go ahead.
With the Explorer here, he can't really take the fight because the Explorer will take so much damage from the Ulan and the DPS onto the enemy Ulan from Knuschelbär will just probably outsway the fight and then end up winning.
Well, if you micro properly and not focus the Explorer, you're okay, but it's definitely not easy to do. And I also, yeah, I mean, there's no reason to take a fight if you're just 1 Explorer behind, right? It's not good. Also, if you lost 1 Ulan early, you can expect to maybe be 1 Ulan behind potentially, so you don't really want to fight. I actually don't know why Raphael is being so aggressive with his Ulans here. I mean, it's kind of risky already.
He might get, I was going to say, if he came forward even more so, these dots are just about to pop, so you might even be able to pop them onto Ulan if he came forward.
Yeah, I even wonder if it wouldn't have been good for Knusch to just let his explorer fight and snare, even if it dies, and then sends his Ulans last second in before the explorer dies to keep snaring, and then pop the dops. Maybe it would have been clutch, but not sure about the timing. Maybe would have been too late. Either way, 700 gold coming in for Knusch and from both players actually. So boss gonna age somehow. Knish has much more food than Raphael. So it looks like Raphael is probably making Dops and Ulans from boss buildings, just massing a lot of units, while Knish seems to just have made 5 Dops and click up. And for the time being, he's going to be fine with his 5 Dops. He's also got the Minutemen available, so not too much Raphael can do, but now...
he might get caught with the Dops.
All the Ulans are AFK.
Yeah, he needs those Ulans in the fight, definitely.
He needs to queue maybe 1 dot from in the racks so that he might be able to pop them in transition and call Minutemen. Oh, Minutemen, nice. Okay, so he's gonna hold that. And the Dops here focusing the Explorer, but then getting caught by Knusch Dops. The Olans though gonna come in to help. So Raphael will get the Doppelsolner advantage here. But then there's still the Minutemen. If Knusch can bring Minutemen, he should be alright, kind of. If he can snap the Dops with the MM.
Yeah, and he has a shipment as he comes up, so he might lose his barracks for his fight. But then he could just send war wagons. What can Raphael do against war wagons at this point? He's nowhere near to aging himself. Yeah. He does have another bunch of Dops out, but
Knuschri needs to TC fire the goddamn Doppels, man. Then he can actually fight, and he's TC firing now. Now it's time for Knusch to turn back and break even, or actually clean this up. So he's cleaning up. Without losing
the queue as well, so he's going to have a patch of skirmishers and the war wagons out. So these Dops really could age too, but not particularly good. He might lose these villages though. That is.
This is not looking too good. But he can sack 1 settler wagon probably. He just needs to keep them moving. Just keep moving.
What you have to remember is, they're going to run away. They're going to
5 skirms.
And the skirmishers coming in, and the war wagons coming in. He's going to lose all these Dops, and Raphael actually aging nicely here, but he's basically a shipment behind at this point. He's going to be so much slower, and Knuschelbär has the advantage here.
Knuschelbär is almost in a winning position at this point. I mean, he hasn't even lost his settler wagon. It's low HP, but in fact, he killed the one Ulan with his Ulan, so the settler wagon did not die, and he killed the Ulan. And then now he's going to clean up the Dops because there's no way they escape from war wagons, and there's even skirms behind to DPS more. Just shoot the Dop with your skirms here, and
the Dop on those war wagons though.
It was in cover mode though, so it did not that much damage at all.
But yeah, it's gonna be huge.
Oh my! This is GG. I mean, I'm sorry, unless Raphael gets an insanely good fight next, this is just GG. Like it's gonna be insanely hard for him to come back. He's extremely behind in economic population. He's behind in military. He's aging later. He's now calling Minutemen. Not sure if you should fight that. Yeah, so Knusch going back. Oh, the Dops, though, getting a good catch. This is nice for Raphael. What is Knusch doing? Rip lots, many Ulans dying.
I still think even without awful train on those Ulan, he's in a good position because there's no skirmishers out at all. There's five skirmishers and 8 skirmishers, so 13 and 3 Ulans. But yeah, I mean, look at the eco difference. There's nearly a 9 eco difference here, which is huge. And it's not like Raphael's massively ahead in any other regard.
Yeah.
Skirmisher count wise is ahead, but
that's a problem when you age later than your opponent without doing any significant damage on a map like this where you have only 1 safe gold mine. Like your second mine is pretty far. And also I believe there was a gold mine here. You can see it on the minimap. And Raphael used it already because he made so many Dops and Ulans that he already used even his second gold mine. So now he was on the 3rd gold mine when he's up, which is when you're weak. And that's when Knusch is able to push smartly and just deny the gold and kill a bunch of bills. And that's just tough, really tough for Raphael. Maybe it's not GG. I mean, he's still got a decent military con. He still could take a good fight. Actually, don't really like Knusch going for 1k wood, when in fact he could just keep shipping units and stay ahead because he is ahead already. So going 1k wood might actually be one way to throw the game. We'll have to see about that. Also not a fan of War Wagons here. I mean, they just suck. But there's gonna be a shipment popping, so
Yeah, and if you can get if you can just get 9 Ulan out here, it'd be massive. It's just GG if he gets 9 Ulan here.
yeah, and
And
he has a shipment on the way. So if it's 9 Olans, I think we can call it GG.
These villagers tanking so much, he is now slightly behind on eco population. But as you said, like 9 Ulan.
Oh, there you go. Huge. Clutch 9 Ulan, GG. I mean, Knusch is still even ahead. He's still ahead in eco by 2 vils. So GG. This is over. Good series, 3-2. So Knusch saving it, not losing by too much.
I mean, even though Raphael won, I mean, this is in a way, this is a really, really good a really good result for SKG Nila Ninjas, because you have to remember Raphael cost so much money in comparison to Knuschelbär. Knuschelbär was about 2,000 if I recall, and Raphael nearly going on 4,000 coins.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Raphael, I think, is obviously the strongest player in SKG team and one of the strongest player, if not the strongest player of the entire EPL. I mean, he's tier 1 for sure. So going 2-3 against Raphael, it's still nice for SKG that they get the point, but it's not. Maybe they would have expected Raphael to bring them a little bit more than that. So it's definitely not bad for the Nila Ninja. They're saving pretty nicely. And also because Nila Ninjas were already ahead, right? They have 3 points from their match against Sampu. So far, this is good for the Nila Ninja. They got 3 points from their series against the SKG, while SKG got only 1 point. So Nila Ninja is looking good so far. And that's the end of the series. Really nice series. I mean, there were a couple worse games, maybe, like the India-Russia wasn't the greatest. The Miro, the second one, was not very interesting. It was kind of a right click, really. But the 3 other games, like the 2 first games and this one, were pretty good, I think. So
yeah,
nice series.
Yeah, definitely nice series. 3-2 to Raphael. So a win for Raphael, as I said, but maybe not the best result, or the result that SKG was sort of wanting.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the military graph just to conclude this game there, and you can see Knuschelbär just holding really nicely with a bit less units, I mean a bit fewer units, and the Minutemen, and just despite having no dobs, did a fairly good job at sniping them with Minutemen and then with TC Fire and then turning back and just kind of cleaning up, and then being up earlier, counter pushing directly with a shipment and just killing a bunch of fields and denying gold. I think we can even see it in the gold coin total graph. First, Knusch was idled, so he couldn't gather gold, but then he was able to counter push, and in his turn, Raphael could not gather gold and lost some vills, so yeah. And then the final 9 Ulans popped, just cleaning up Raphael entirely, and that was GG, well played.